Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another installment of the Zero Structured YouTube channel that sometimes you get videos twice a week, sometimes you get videos twice every 6 months. That's what it feels like anyway. However, this is going to be, shocker, another training video. We're in for chest today. It's been a hectic few weeks on the road. There's been thousands of miles covered. There's just been a lot happening. There's been weddings. There's been a few bodybuilding shows. Don't get me wrong, everything's been absolutely amazing. Like it's just been mega full on. There's just been so much happening, and there's just been next to zero time. There's been a lot of early mornings, a lot of really late nights. There's been just fucking tons happening. Has things stopped? No, absolutely not. Have I still been training? Absolutely yes. Have I still been absolutely flat out with work? Absolutely yes. Have I been on the go 24/7? Absolutely yes. So that's kind of where we're at. We're in for chest today regardless. So it's kind of going to be chest focused push. I probably will do a little bit of side delts in there. Probably will do a little bit of tricep work in there. I have came off the back of getting back into Ultraflex for my first session yesterday. So I trained for a week out of the Body Academy in Perth. I also trained in Warehouse Gym in Aberdeen. I trained out of the Leisure Centre back in Stranraer. I trained out of the little studio that I used to train in back in Stranraer. Where else? I've trained out of Arkham Gym in Northern Ireland. So I have literally been training in multiple different gyms in such a short space of time. So as you can imagine, obviously I've not really been able to kind of get after any sort of tracking of loads and feeling of machines and pieces. I've been fortunate to train out of some good gyms that have got really good equipment in it, just not equipment that I can kind of familiarise myself with and get used to. So that kind of is why I've not been able to really focus on trying to get stronger or do that a little bit more. It's been quite hard because I've had a couple of weeks away from deadlifts on my usual bar, platform, weights, etc, etc, etc. The first kind of, what you could say, almost similar session was in the Body Academy. I pulled 347 for a triple, but I definitely done something to my adductor. I actually had to bring my sessions so close together just because everything was happening, and because we had like full day events and also full days worth of traveling, I was literally unable to get to the gym. And even if I did try and source a gym, it would have been the most pointless thing ever. And I've kind of learned now that if I prioritise a little bit more rest, I'm actually going to benefit in the following sessions coming up. So with that, I trained legs on the Monday. Again, totally different equipment. I used a swing squat. I just used everything that was totally different, and I definitely did have a small pull. Something happened throughout my adductor region, and it just wasn't nice. It then got to Thursday, so I'm normally not deadlifting until Saturday. Now, bearing in mind, I also done stiff leg deadlifts, which I'm pulling off the floor. I'm doing a proper stiff leg deadlift, and mine aren't even like RDL stiff legs. I'm really focusing on straight legged deadlifts to really just put all the emphasis onto my hamstrings. I pulled 220 for 11, I think, 11 or 12, and then Tuesday I trained push, Wednesday I trained arms, Thursday was pull. So that was my deadlift session. So again, I'm used to deadlifting on a Saturday, and obviously legs are on the Monday, so that is give or take around 5 days in between them sessions. I then only had 2. I then had something wrong with my adductor. Was it the most sensible thing to be able to go in and go for the 347? Probably not, but by the time I got to around 260, 290, I was feeling significantly warmer. I was feeling better. I'd done the 290, I then done the 320, and a few weeks prior to that, I'd done 345 for a triple. So it was a case of, right, either go 340 for 3 to 5, or go 350. Now, in my head, I was like, I don't think 350 is going to be the set today. So I thought, I'll go 347, because that's still going to be a PB, no matter what I pull it for. But in my head, I was like, right, I've done 350 for 2, so I've got to pull this for a minimum of 3 for it to actually count in my head. So I done the triple, felt good, actually didn't feel the worst after it. So That's kind of probably the highlight session of all the traveling. But I still got the job done, still got a lot of work done, which is the main thing. That ultimately is what matters the most. It's not always about having to go in and do more. You guys know the script, I'm not going to go over that. But we're back in Ultraflex now. First session was legs yesterday. It was a good one. Second one, push today. Not really got any crazy structure, only because I've not been on this equipment for a good few weeks now. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to take it as it is, whatever's free. I've got a relatively similar structure in my head towards what I normally do, i.e. flies into presses. But I'll see what I'm going to do when I get there. Of course, we'll take you guys through the session. If there's anything else you guys want to know more about, drop a comment down below. Drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, of course, because why wouldn't you when the videos are so inconsistent, and you might see one this week and then not another one for another 3 months. And we'll catch up with when you get to the gym. Oh yeah. Whenever it comes to your lateral raises, guys, one of the biggest things that I think is super important when doing something, especially single arm, because single arm you have got a lot more freedom. It's inevitable. There's no going against it. You've got a lot more freedom to be able to have your arm path go wherever you want. On something like this machine especially, to be honest, goes for even a single arm lateral on a cable, or even if you're going to do it with a dumbbell. Think about pushing your hand away from you. Don't be trying to grab and pull, because if you grab and pull, that trap's just going to come in and it's going to be minimal activation through the side delt. Whereas if you actually think about being locked in, grab that tension from this stack. So if you think about it, if you're on something that's got like a snappy bit at the bottom where you have to kind of get out of that and get the tension and think about pushing your hand. So I always look to be able to grab it, not like fully super hard. I look to be able to almost get my thumb all the way around it, all the way around the handle or the dumbbell or the D handle or the cuff. And think about, I wouldn't go all the way out to the side either, because you'll get so far out and you'll just go like this, which is the last thing you want. Whereas if you think about it, if you keep it within that midline between the front raise and all the way out to the side, so we look to be able to push as far as we can, push the hand as far as we can out in that midline, it's going to allow for you to be able to eliminate these and just target these. And that should be on such a small and very isolated movement such as a single arm side lateral. Like, that's what the purpose should be behind. So just think about that, push the hand away rather than pulling it out hard, and you'll take away the traps. happy enough with 7. That was 7, wasn't it? Again, it's not done it in so long, so it's ultimately refinding where I'm at. I think off the top of my head, I'm going to be here for my next push session, which will include the incline Smith. So that'll be good. I kind of have got baselines to be able to go off of now. Whether I come back up to 160, I say 160, 3.5 plates. Whether I come back up to this or not, or maybe even fall back to 3 and a 5, add a few more reps, build up more confidence and control with that as well. Because this is quite a, it's quite a rickety Cybex Smith. It's not like really smooth, so it's again just getting used to that. But to be honest, coming back and doing the 3.5 for the 7, to be honest, I didn't expect that. I went in kind of looking for a minimum of 5. So I'm happy with the 7. I'll back off now, and then we'll move on to another press from there.
So with really no purpose behind it apart from just wanting to touch a little bit of extra load, I've done a single here on 3 and a 15 after the 3.5, just to be able to get back used to a bit of heavier load, so I know what to expect next time around more than anything, rather than having that as my first goal. Second initial working set, you could say, was 3 plates, which I think I done like 11 or 12 here. Felt good. This was ultimately the main working set. The 3 and a 15 didn't take anything out of me. So that is why I was confident just going in to get a feel of it, and then ultimately go into my second working set from there.
Decline press at S. We walked all the way over to the flat press and it was occupied. So it's one of them things where I personally just don't like waiting. I could definitely ask to jump in, however, on this day, I'm not gonna. We'll just do decline instead. We're still gonna do that flat press. I want to still do that. So to be honest, I'm also just not good. There's not any other flat presses in here. So we're gonna just move to decline. I'll then move back to that. There's the Gym Leco plate loaded press. Just don't really want to do that today. It's actually taken as well. So to be honest, I would have to wait. So we'll do decline instead. I'm just gonna load it up in 25s because I am feeling good to the point of where I can get to my top set pretty quickly here. I don't need to be fucking about going 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate, 4 plate, 5 plate. So I'll just get there as quick as possible. I'll get a good couple of working sets done as well on here, whether I feel good at 1 or 2 sets, depending on the rep range, depending where I end up, depending how I feel by the time I get to a relatively heavy load, that will dictate it. But hopefully it'll feel good. We'll soon find out. Just for reference, 20, 20, 25. Can we see that?
Yeah.
25. Can we see that?
Yeah, right.
25. 5 and a 15. Not 5. Oof. Going to take my dumbbell laterals up to a set where I really can't get over 10 anymore. So I'll probably find myself maybe between 20s and 25s, I would like to say right now. 12 and a half's really easy 15. So what I'll do is I will just jump up to 20s from here. If I get 10 plus, then I'll give 25s a spin. And then realistically, that'll be that kind of last set. So instead of doing a top and back off here, I'm just going up in like a pyramid format. So I'm getting to that set where I really can't do any more than 10, and then I'll just leave it there. 8, 9, 10. Okay. Ay. 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 Oh. Okay.
Following on from the dumbbell laterals, tricep overhead extension machines. So just tricep work to be able to finish on here. Two of my favorites. To be honest, I can't lie, I wanted on a cable machine to be able to do EZ bar push downs. However, it was a time where you would literally go in and have to go to war for a cable machine. So by the time I was finishing, which was a good thing, I just was unable to get on a cable machine. So I did I was satisfied with this Panatta push down bicep curl combo machine, which felt good enough, but that was it for triceps. So I took 3 working sets on here, 2 on extensions, and that was us finished. But as always, guys, if there's anything you want to be able to know more about, see more of, let me know. If you can, drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll catch up with you all in the next video.